So before starting the presentation, I'd like to give a bit of an intro about myself. My name is Elen. I work at Incredo. How many of you know Incredo? Only my colleagues. And ex-colleagues. So I work at Incredo. Incredo is an inbound marketing agency based in Armenia. So I work there as a project manager, and I mostly deal with digital marketing projects. So as you know, the topic is the importance of discovery stage in marketing strategy creation. And before starting my topic, I'd like to ask you a question, a very predictable question. How many of you have ever created or had any kind of input into the creation of a marketing strategy? Great. Could you, for example, tell us how do you start it? How do you start the marketing strategy?
From understanding the point what we need to do, and then research what did other companies, what we can do for reaching our goals, make plan, deadlines, and so on.
Yeah. So what you do is you try to understand the goals that the client has, and then what you do is the research. So today's topic is going to be concentrated on that research part, not actually the marketing strategy creation part, but that research part. Let me break down the two factors of my presentation. So the topic is discovery stage in digital marketing creation. So there are two elements. What is digital marketing strategy? So what kind of descriptions do you know of digital marketing strategy? Anyone? Or just marketing strategy? Okay, I know that there are many descriptions about it, but I wrote here the description that was the simplest to me and in my words. So to me, marketing strategy is simply a documented roadmap of the marketing activities that need to be done in order to achieve your marketing goals. And the second part at the discovery stage. So before you go ahead and create your marketing strategy, what you do, as you clearly said, is the research. So research phase, I use it also interchangeably as discovery stage. And the discovery stage is actually the information gathering, the data collection that you do based on which you will do your marketing strategy. So I know that you might do this in a different way, the research part, but we separated several elements of that research in digital marketing projects specifically. So the first one is website audit, if applicable, because if your client doesn't have a website, you don't do this. The second one is market research. So what you do is basically try to understand from a macro level what's going on in the market. And then you go deeper into micro and try to understand the competitors. So that's why next is competitor research. And then there is buyer persona research and creation at the same time. And then there is the keyword research. So what is the process? So I wrote the timeline. And the sequence of these activities. So I wrote 1 week meaning 5 working days. So I usually start with website audit. Why? Because when I start with website audit, I understand the client. I read through their website, I audit their SEO, I audit many other things in their website, and I understand the client, what they stand for, and then I move forward to the market research. So that's going to take another week. So in market research, as I said, I try to understand everything from a micro level. What's going on in that market? Whether that's the crypto market, whether that's the SaaS market, doesn't matter. You try to understand what's going on in general. And then you go to the competitors. You try to understand who are the direct competitors, what they do, what they don't do, why they do it, when they do it, and so on. And then once you have this information, you're coming back to your client again. So you're trying to understand who are they targeting. So when you have this idea of what's going on in the market and who are your competitors, you have better idea of who your client is trying to target. And you're trying this research, and you're starting this research to understand the actual personas that are out there for your client to investigate. And then next is the keyword research, because you've done all these things and you know how these people talk. You know the phrases they use. It's better for you to do keyword research at the very end so that you know the exact keywords that need to be used, that you need to research. Now I'm going to go through each of these points one by one. So website audit. How many of you conducted website audit ever? My colleagues again. Okay, so basically what website audit is, it's just simply a full analysis of the website and the factors in your website that can affect your online visibility in search engines, that can affect generally your visibility in search engines. So we divided it into several parts. The first one is the SEO audit, and then you go ahead and analyze their mobile version depending on a client. So if the client has most of your client's users are on mobile, it is very important to audit the mobile version as well. Not the app, but the mobile version. And then you go ahead and try to understand their technologies, the design and functionality, which is basically the UX. I'm going to talk about it later. Content audit and conversion audit. Now, SEO audit. So there are many things included in SEO audit, but there are several elements that I highlight in here and this presentation that I personally think are important. And in my experience, I understood that these are the most important things. There could be some other things that I have missed, but this is it. So meta description. Let me just go to any website and show it to you directly on it. So you start basically with the title tag, analyzing the title tag and meta descriptions. What is a title tag? Title tag, as you can maybe predict from its very title, is this. So it should be between 50 to 70 characters. And characters are not just letters, they are also spaces. So 1 comma and a space are 2 characters. 1 comma is a character. So it's not just the word count or anything, it's characters. So it should be between 50 to 70 to be considered optimized. Next is the meta description. It is this very explanation in here. It should be between 320, but I think the algorithm has changed and it's now till 157 or something. So this is how you can understand whether it's optimized or not. And then there are headings. So technically, what headings are just the titles, subtitles, and the subtitles of your subtitles in the coded version of your website. I'm going to show you it in the URL. You can manually look at this from the URL, but there are also many other tools that identify the headings. And also, why headings are important is for search engines and for crawlers is because they try to understand whether you have a structure. So if you have a clear headings, H1, H2, H3, and then you have clear subtitles, it gives them a sense that your website is structured. So it is important to have these headings. There are 6 headings, H1, H2, H3 till H6, and it's not necessarily important to have all kind of tags, but having at least 3 is very important and it can be helpful. So I'm going to try to find here, let's say H1. Just pay attention, this is not the H1 I'm looking for. This is the H1 I'm looking for. It's in the brackets like this. And then you can go ahead and look at the H2 as well. You can see that H2 persists here as well. This is the title. Next is the keyword cloud. What keyword cloud is basically the keywords that are dominant in your website and the keywords that you're ranking for. You can go ahead and search, use different tools for this. I personally use Ahrefs also, and ACMrush, I think you know these tools. So they give you a very basic idea of the exact titles your website is ranking for, exact keywords. So alt attributes. Alt attributes are also referred to as alt texts, and they're simply specifying, where is this? And they're basically specifying the title of your image. So let's see. When I put the mouse cursor, I can see in here a title, Optimize Your Purchasing Budget. Now when I see this, I do know that this image, when I search on Google, optimize your purchasing budget or purchasing budget, there is a chance that this image will appear in the Google searches, and then that client can have a traffic from that also. So having this is really important. This is what crawlers pay attention to as well. And the next one is backlinks. So it is very difficult to manually check backlinks. I think it's almost impossible. But there are tools, as I mentioned, also Ahrefs and etc. I will show them in the next slide, that can help you identify the number of backlinks. And then there are also in-page links, meaning how many links in your website do you have? Those matter as well. And then there are broken links. So what are broken links? Broken links are, have you ever met a website where you clicked on something and then it has led you to another page that said 404 error not found? So that's a broken link, because that's a link that leads you nowhere. So having them hurts your search engine visibility a lot. The other one is robust TXT. So what robust TXT is basically, it's a text file. So robust TXT basically is a text file in your code that's done with, that webmasters put in there. Why? So that they could allow or disallow different user agents, meaning different crawlers, to go or not to go to certain pages. So for example this. So they're either allowing or disallowing. It's in the code, it is something like this. And these are basically a text file with directives that tell the crawlers where can or cannot go. And here is another example, if you can take a look at it. So it says user agent, what's written, BuzzFeed, allow and disallow all of these things. So these are pages that you don't want our crawlers to crawl, and there are pages that you want them to crawl. So having this robust TXT and having your sitemap in it very clearly identified helps you a lot in your ranking. The other one is underscores in the URL. So I think if you've paid attention, could have seen some underscores in the URL, like www, I don't know, Barcamp / Elen / Simonyan. Having these slashes in your underscores are very bad. So basically they hurt your SEO. The other thing is domain registration. So domain registration is important. Why? Because you don't want, if your domain is close to its expiration, it's going to hurt your ranking as well. So you need to make sure that it's on time, that it's not expiring. Okay. So these are the tools that I said I will show you that I use for SEO audit. So the first one is Ahrefs. Ahrefs gives you a lot of information, mainly also on backlinks. So if you do backlink research or link building, Ahrefs is the tool that you want to use. WooRank does the full website audit, not only SEO audit, but website audit also. But there are things that it is not showing correctly. So it might show that the site has, let's say, that the site has, for example, 4 tags, 4 headings instead of 2, and then you go ahead in the code and you see that it's not persistent. So it's good for SEO audit, but website audit it's better to do also manually or without the tools. The same goes for deep crawl and screaming frog. Those 2 things will help you not only for SEO, but also will help you in website audit in general. So the next element of the website audit is the mobile part. And let me show you an example. This is one of the website audit done for our clients, so you can have a practical view on how it looks like. So this is the things I talked about, the SEO. And here is the mobile part. So mobile friendliness. So mobile friendliness is basically you go ahead and manually look at it. and you pretend that you're a user and you start using it, try to understand its drawbacks, its advantages, and how user-friendly the mobile version is. Mobile compatibility. Now, mobile compatibility is way different from mobile, how do you say, responsiveness. So if there is mobile responsiveness, then there is mobile compatibility. But those terms are completely different. The other thing is font size legibility. So what it is basically if your font size on a website is, let's say, 24 pixels, and then you use the same font size on a phone, it's going to show you much bigger font, right? So you don't want that to happen. You want it to be optimized. So those things are really correlated. And then there is mobile viewport. So what mobile viewport is, it's this visible part of your mobile. So a website could be on the web. On your computer, it could look like completely different. But when you take it to your mobile viewport, you need to see that it is optimized. So for example, if there is a huge menu navigation, it turns into a hamburger menu. So hamburger menu, you know, right? These lines that you click on and then it opens another navigation. So that's it. And this can be done with tools also, this mobile part, but I personally prefer it to be done like manually. The other is mobile frameworks. When you're using mobile frameworks, your mobile version is likely to not have this kind of issues such as the compatibility issue or the viewport issue or font size legibility issue. So for example, our client wrote here that he used Bootstrap, and we said that it's okay. And then there is the AMP. So what AMP stands for, AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. So basically, there are a lot of AMP validators. So if you go ahead and like search in Google AMP validator, you will see the first things coming on there. You just put your website URL in there and check the AMP validation. So mainly it's like the speed of your website on mobile, how accelerated the switch between the pages and the speed is. Okay, so moving forward, next is the technologies. So what do you look at in technologies? You look at what kind of technologies are used. You look at whether the website is on WordPress or on any other CMS. You look at whether there are integrations with other tools. Like, for example, there could be an integration with HubSpot, Zendesk, or any other tools. And then you look at the analytics as well. It usually might show you that there can be like Google Analytics, so you know that they're using that one, or Google Tag Manager, so you know they're using that one as well. And then you look at the doc type. So it's not necessary to do this manually. There are tools that do that, the same tools that I mentioned, but you can look at it manually as well. So this doc type of this client especially was HTML5, and the encoding language was, I think it was UTF-8. And then there comes the SSL security. So what SSL security is, it's basically, when you look at this and you see HTTPS, it means that this site is secure. It means that it has an SSL security. So this is like a certificate that people can, that websites, once they have their domain, can buy. But there are websites that don't have the S part, and it is really important to have it, because if you're, let's say, if you want to download an ebook from that website and you put your personal information in it, you need to know that this information, even if there are cookies and etc., but this information is not secure. So you don't have that security, because HTTPS websites are more secure. They make sure that your data is protected, and and whatever data that is in the website, and shouldn't be public. So that was it about the technologies. The next one is Design functionality and content analysis. So what the design functionality is mainly is the UX, so the user experience. What you do, you pretend that you are a user. You take your phone, you take your tablet, you just go ahead on your computer, and you start checking out the website. You try to pretend to be the user of that website. How easy it is to navigate between the pages. How easy do you get that information that you need. How easy you convert. How easy it is for you to get whatever you want in that website. And the next one is content audit. So what you do in content audit is you manually go ahead and try to check, how good is the content on the website. You try to see how is the keyword density. You try to see what kind of content is written in the website, what kind of content is written on the blog. So there could be different audit for blogs as well. And then there is the conversion audit. So conversion audit is basically done also manually as well. Why? Because once you do this UX test on that website or on mobile, doesn't matter, you look at the following. How easy do you convert on that website? Are you making 100 clicks before you convert? Or you are just directly adding to cart and then you're done, and then you're converted. But there are like different conversion paths from different businesses. For example, if your business is a supplier relationship management software, in that industry, you cannot just log in. You cannot just even sign up. Why? Because this software costs on average $500,000, and before you convert, you need to contact these people. They give you a demo, and only then after 30 days, you can register. So in this kind of website, you can see only login. And the next is e-shops. Like you go to Nike, you want to buy a sneaker. What you do is you go, you choose your filters, you add it to cart, and then you're done. You convert it. But for other websites, it's not like that. So it is important to pay attention to the kind of website you are in and the kind of conversion paths that are in there. Okay. So the next is market research. Does anyone know the difference between market research and marketing research? Again, my colleagues. Okay. So market research and marketing research. As I've noticed in my experience, there are a lot of people using these two terms interchangeably, which they should not, because these two terms are radically different. Market research is concerned with investigating the market. It's concerned with understanding what's going on in the market in general. And marketing research is concerned with the issues related to marketing. So marketing size and competition, that's a market research part. Brand awareness, brand perception, pricing, advertising, promotion effectiveness, that's marketing. Now, when you start your market research, I know there are different ways of doing the market research, but in digital marketing especially, it is completely different. What you need to do is to identify the exact questions that you need answers for throughout your market research. So those questions are as follows. So current market state and the size of the market. Pain points of your potential clients. Potential clients meaning the clients of your clients. How do competitors find solutions for their pain points in general? How many softwares, if applicable, I wrote software, but that could be anything else, are out there that are superior to that company's software? It's not moving. Okay. And then you look at the targeted geography in general in the market. And then you look at the standard customer journey. This is something that is not really usually involved in market research, but in digital marketing, I think it is important to understand what is the general path all customers in that industry are going through. So are they mostly referrals? Is it the word of mouth? How are they getting to that conversion path? What is that path? What is their journey? And then how customers in the market act, what kind of phrases they use or words they use to describe their pain points. So this is the list that I've created myself while trying to do this market research thing for one of our clients. But what I personally like to do is not just start right from the beginning with these questions, but also sit down with a client and try to understand what questions fit them and what questions don't fit them. Because there might be questions, what's written in there? Done? Do I have like extra 2-3 minutes to sum up? Okay, so and then you're going to move to competitor research, which consists of 3 parts. The general competitor research, which identifies like the size of your competitors, their maturity, what the weaknesses and the weaknesses, their website analysis. You go ahead and analyze their social media, if applicable. If not social media, you can look at their email marketing, and then you look at the you do the keyword research, and all of this is done for your marketing strategy creation. Once you do all the steps, you will be happy because you will have enough information to cover this. You will do the overview from all the research and will basically highlight your key findings. You will identify the SMART goals. I think all of you know what SMART goals are. And then you will do the following. You will identify the marketing actions that you need exactly from all of that research to achieve your SMART goals. And then you will list the exact implementation strategy that you need to do in order to reach those goals. And then you have the quarterly action plan, and then you're done. So basically, having all this information, you will be able to give a strategy that will really give you enough information for the next 3 months, 6 months, doing your strategy properly and getting back to that document whenever you need. So thank you very much. Sorry for running out of the time. Thank you.